Did you know that bulletproof vests are being manufactured using spider webs? Did you know that there are works of art painted by flies? Did you know there is a pill that can extend your dog's life by 24 years? All this and much more today on Colin the Curious. Chinese researchers have combined spider DNA with silkworms, creating a bulletproof silk. They engineered silkworms that produce ultra-strong spider silk. To achieve this, they used CRISPR-Cas9 technology, inserting spider genes into the silkworms, resulting in threads 6 times stronger than Kevlar, the material used in bulletproof vests. Until now, large-scale production of spider silk had never been possible, as spiders cannot be industrially bred, but silkworms can, and millions are already being raised worldwide. Would you buy textiles made from this silk? Did you know that the world's only taxidermied blue whale has its mouth sealed shut because of a couple? At the Natural History Museum in Gothenburg, Sweden, visitors used to be able to go inside the enormous blue whale specimen. But in the 1930s, a couple was caught having sex inside the gigantic animal, and since then, the museum decided to seal its mouth shut forever. In the city of Tilburg, in the Netherlands, there's a very peculiar pedestrian traffic light. Instead of the typical little figure, the silhouettes show one person carrying a jug and another urinating into it. The design references an 18th century tradition from when the city was an important textile center. At that time, workers collected their own urine to sell to factories, where the ammonia was used to clean and soften wool. The traffic light humorously recalls this curious chapter of local history. HTX Studio built a skidding chair for one of their workers who broke his foot. The most expensive wood in the world is Phoebe Genin, famous for its golden grain. It's so expensive because it takes many years to form. As the tree ages, its core begins to change color and harden. During this natural process, substances accumulate that create those golden threads and give it a distinctive aroma. Because it grows in only a few places and is protected due to its rarity, obtaining it is difficult, which is why it's worth a fortune. In Indio, California, there's a covered bridge with nearly 700 painted figures that seem to come to life as you drive over them. The effect is achieved because the images are arranged sequentially. Your movement animates the figures, creating a kind of giant cartoon over the highway. In 2004, a television program pitted an Olympic gymnast against an orangutan in an endurance test. The rules were simple. They could only hang from the bar by their hands, and for safety, there was a fence between them. When the orangutan began to swing, the gymnast followed, thinking it was bored and would fall. The orangutan braced its feet on the pole, and the gymnast won the test, holding on for 6 minutes and 38 seconds. A victory to be proud of, no doubt. Wait a minute. I need you to see something. How is it possible that 90% of the people who watch my videos aren't subscribed to the channel? Remember that subscribing is free! The more of us there are in the community, the more videos like this I can continue to make. Support the channel with your subscription, give me a like, and leave a comment for the algorithm. Have you ever rented a movie? Before streaming, the world watched movies on DVD until a young Norwegian named John Lech Johansen made it possible. In 1999, at just 15 years old, he cracked the security code protecting the discs, allowing anyone to copy and watch them without the restrictions imposed by Hollywood studios. While major production companies accused him of promoting piracy, the digital community celebrated him as a symbol of technological freedom. He was eventually acquitted, as his intention, he explained, was simply to watch his own DVDs on a free operating system. According to Hollywood executives, John is primarily responsible for the boom in online movie piracy. Who would have thought that wanting to watch a movie would change digital history? Some museums in Japan have an attraction where you can experience the gravity of the moon and some planets. When you jump, your movements are synchronized with visual projections to enhance the immersion, making it feel as if you were actually bouncing on another planet. Did you know that, according to studies, the smell of old age begins as early as age 40? Yes, the classic grandfatherly smell. Science explains that at age 40, the production of lipids in the skin, which functions as a protective barrier against external agents and helps retain the amounts of water and oil the skin needs, increases. This hormonal change contributes to the aroma associated with aging. Among these compounds, the molecule 2-anonanol stands out, which is naturally produced in the dermis and is responsible for the smell of old age. Scientific research suggests that the smell of old age can begin to be felt as early as age 30. And I know you're smelling yourself right now. Are you old enough to start worrying about that smell of old age? The armadillo lizard bites its tail on purpose. It does this to form a kind of armored ball that protects its belly, its most vulnerable part, and also makes it harder for predators to swallow it. Can you imagine sharing your life with someone for over a century? Lyle and Eleanor Gittins have, with a combined age of 215 years. He's 108 and she's 107. They are not only the oldest living married couple in the world, but also the longest-lasting married couple of all time. Their story began almost a century ago, when the world was completely different. They have lived through wars, unimaginable technological changes, and entire generations, yet they are still together, hand in hand, just like the first day, living proof that sometimes love really can last forever. Mosquitoes need blood to reproduce, and for a long time, scientists donated their own blood to maintain the colonies used in their experiments. Today, instead of using their arms, they use devices with membranes and donated blood that mimic human skin. Believe it or not, this is a real photograph. The image was taken by astrophotographer Andrew McCarthy at the exact moment his friend parachuted into the sky. He used a solar telescope and a high-speed camera, perfectly framing the shot with the sun in the background. Do you know where the phrase "crocodile tears" comes from? In the Middle Ages, it was believed that crocodiles cried while devouring their prey, feigning sadness for what they had just done. This is where the expression "crocodile tears" originated, which we use today to describe false, hypocritical, or feigned sorrow. Interestingly, crocodiles do cry, but not out of emotion or guilt. When a crocodile consumes prey, the movement of its jaw and throat can force air through its sinuses, stimulating the tear glands and causing tears to flow. It is a purely physical reaction, not a sign of pain or sadness. Did you know that some paintings are literally done by flies? Artist John Knuth feeds thousands of flies a mixture of paint and sugar. As they eat, the flies regurgitate tiny droplets of paint to dissolve their food, leaving minuscule specks of color on the canvases. Each painting can involve thousands of flies working for weeks. Snails and slugs aren't as peaceful as they seem. They can fight over food by striking with their mouths. These battles are rather absurd and quite funny. The Japanese, known for creating innovative things, have just created a washing machine. not for clothes, but for people. The Mirai Ningen Sentakuki washing machine can wash and dry you in 15 minutes while you sit and relax. When you sit down, it's a reclining capsule cabin. The capsule lid closes, hot water is sprayed, and soap bubbles wash your body and hair. Once clean, warm air circulates inside to dry you. The developers say it could be especially useful for caring for the elderly and people with disabilities. Would you like to have a bath in there? Let me know in the comments. This is how Japanese children are taught not to cross the street without looking. Sky-eyed goldfish are one of the most unusual varieties. Instead of looking straight ahead or to the sides, their eyes point skyward.
Un extraño de fuera.
In Germany, stone rings with moss-covered seats are being installed in parks where cell phones don't work. These spaces are strategically isolated from mobile signals using natural materials and structures that block electromagnetic waves. The goal is simple: to offer visitors a complete disconnection experience where users are encouraged to interact, reflect, or simply enjoy their surroundings. These pause circles were designed by environmental architects in collaboration with psychologists and wellness experts who claim that just 15 minutes of mindful disconnection reduces levels of cortisol, the stress hormone, by up to 30%. This little dog came across an excavator and wouldn't stop playing with it, trying to climb on. The excavator operator couldn't resist his cuteness and decided to let him in. The little dog was taken for a ride as if he were in an amusement park, and as if that weren't enough, he insisted on another ride. And of course, it was impossible to say no. This is an X-ray of a beaver's tail. If scientists only had its bones to study, they would surely reconstruct the animal in a completely different way. If something as common as a beaver could be misinterpreted based solely on its skeleton, how wrong might we be in imagining what dinosaurs looked like? This is the world's largest spiderweb. It covers 106 square meters. It's located inside a cave on the border between Albania and Greece. More than 100,000 spiders live there. Hey, wait a minute. If you're here, it's because you like curiosities, right? Let me tell you, I have a big surprise for you. If you love random curiosities as much as I do, you're going to love my new channel, Colin Studio. There, I don't tell you 100 facts in one video. Instead, I take you deep into one fascinating topic. Real mysteries, incredible inventions, hidden truths, and things you probably never knew existed. So if you love to explore, think, and be amazed, check out Colin Studio and subscribe. Hope to see you there. Stay curious. See what happens if you put neutral soap in the microwave. As it heats up, the air and moisture trapped inside the soap expand, causing the bar to inflate and form a kind of giant, light cloud or foam. Stork nests are enormous. They can weigh over a ton and reach heights of more than 2 meters. These birds reuse and expand the same nest for years, turning it into a veritable tower. The one you see here is located in Burgos, Spain. A woman in China, known as Willy, asked her 20 different boyfriends to buy her the newly released iPhone 7. Interestingly, they all agreed. Once she had collected all the devices, she decided to sell them at a buyback shop, earning around $17,000, which, according to reports, she used for a down payment on a house. When the story went viral, some users criticized her for taking advantage of others, while others praised her as an ingenious woman with a practical mind and an entrepreneurial spirit. Do you think it was a clever strategy or a reprehensible act? Share your opinion in the comments. A woman named Tiana Marsh saw an ad where BMW was giving away a car to the first person who responded, but since it was April Fool's Day, no one took it seriously. Tiana didn't understand why BMW would run an ad to trick people, so she responded. The ad said that if you brought in your old car, the company would trade it in for a new one. When Tiana went to a dealership, she was surprised to find it wasn't a joke. BMW gave her a new car valued at $50,000. This is Nicholas Fisher, a professional parkour athlete known for his wall-to-wall jumps without touching the ground. Did you know that between 1890 and 1940, several explorers and settlers tried to domesticate zebras like horses, but they failed miserably? Although they appear docile, zebras have a strong bite, an unpredictable temperament, and a fierce resistance to training, which is why they could never be used as pack animals or for transportation. Check out this gadget. It's the Music Cam, and it's not just headphones. It includes an AI-powered camera. It features a 2K camera mounted on 6 axes and bone conduction audio, meaning it transmits sound through vibrations in the skull bones directly to the inner ear instead of using the ear canal. It weighs 50 grams, records 2.6 hours of video, allows you to talk to a friend using the same device for hours, and is waterproof to a depth of about 20 meters. The ideal device for adventure tourism without carrying cables or heavy cameras. Let me know in the comments if you'd like to buy it. This map shows all the streets that are on Google Maps. There are hundreds of thousands of them. Would you like your dog to live longer? In the United States, a pill that could extend dogs' lives is already being tested. This isn't science fiction. It's a real clinical trial with over 1,300 dogs and 70 veterinary clinics participating. One pill every day, so your best friend can live longer by your side. Scientists believe that if it works, dogs could gain the equivalent of 24 human years. The pill doesn't cure a disease, it directly targets aging. And although it's still in the testing phase, it has already generated hope in thousands of owners who aren't ready to say goodbye. Would you buy these pills? Saturn's rings are one of the most impressive spectacles in the solar system, but also one of the most deceptive. Although they stretch more than 280,000 kilometers across, their average thickness is only 10 meters. For comparison, if Saturn were the size of a basketball, its rings would be thinner than a razor blade. They are composed of fragments of ice, dust, and rock, some as small as grains of sand. From Earth, they appear solid, but they are actually a collection of constantly moving particles. Called the Frankenstein tree, or the tree of 40 fruits, this tree combines 40 different types of fruit on a single trunk. This is all thanks to grafting. Peaches, plums, almonds, nectarines, and even cherries grow on the trunk of this tree. Each branch belongs to a different species, yet they all coexist as if they were one. The artist and a professor, Sam Van Aken, is responsible for this feat, using the grafting technique to join branches of different species until they shared the same vital system. Beyond its beauty, this project seeks to preserve ancient species and demonstrate how science and art can unite to give life to nature. Did you know there's a bottle that nothing sticks to? It's called Liquiglide, and its secret lies in an ultra-smooth inner coating, a permanent liquid layer that acts as an invisible lubricant. The material is food-safe and can be applied to various types of containers. Did you know there's a cinema called Share Reality, where a huge dome of LED screens completely surrounds you, enlarging the images beyond the original frame? This makes the scenes leap off the screen and envelop you from all sides. Could this be the future of cinema? Did you see the movie Free Willy? Yes, that famous 1993 film where a boy helps an orca escape from an aquarium by jumping over a breakwater into the sea of freedom. Well, you should know that the orca in the movie was actually named Keiko. He lived in captivity for 22 years. After the film's success, activists, organizations, and the company that produced the movie launched a media campaign to free him. The orca was released in 2002 near Iceland, where he was prepared for life in the wild. Although he didn't fully adapt, he continued to seek human interaction. Meanwhile, thousands of people called the number shown at the end of the movie, donating a total of $20 million to organizations to save other orcas and whales in captivity. Today's trip is over. Thanks for watching and see you in the next video.